What up, people? Back again. So, obviously, we're back again with another recap. I know this week one of the main things that kind of stuck with me, one of the things that I thought about the most throughout this week was dopamine. The dopamine hit that we're always trying to get. We're always looking for that next thing, man. Or, for me, I find it to be more so like getting caught up in that instant gratification and getting caught up in like temporary feelings and temporary things that we want instantly, like whether it be food. That's why I practice certain disciplines that kind of like make me have to suffer a little bit, like things like refraining from eating food at a certain time during the day or whatever it may be, but just like making it challenging for yourself and denying yourself the gratification of like, oh, I'm hungry, I just want to eat, and being like, no, sorry, you can't eat. Just delaying gratification. It's one of the biggest things, something that I've always kind of like suffer from, and for a long time I didn't even realize that it was an issue for me, or that I needed to even delay gratification. I didn't even know that was a thing, and I didn't realize the benefits that it had for my life in general, and just for mental growth and mental and fortifying your mindset and your mind. But yeah, like falling victim to the quick dopamine hits that come from like temporary pleasures and these kind of things, man, and realizing that it can be a very slippery slope, that when you start on a particular track where you're just always giving in to those temptations and to those feelings of wanting that instant gratification, and then watching it sort of permeate throughout your life. And to me personally, everybody's different, but I feel like I become weaker. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when I'm denying myself certain things, I become stronger. I'm able to withstand more, blah, 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 whatever. But once I start to give in to these like simple pleasures and things like that, and I start to do that across the board throughout my life, I just feel myself being less mentally tough, certain things that weren't bothering me before now are bothering me, whether that be like, I know this may sound crazy, but like cold weather or just cold in general, like being in a cold environment, cold water, whatever. Like before, I'm like, you just grit your teeth through it a little bit, and I don't know. I don't know if these things are directly related to each other, but I feel like they are, and I notice myself getting lazier when I start to kind of overindulge in pleasure. I get lazier, I get sloppier, I'm not nearly as organized, it just seems it seems like a slippery slope to me. You give in to pleasures over and over again, and then you start to watch it permeate throughout your life, and you're giving into pleasures in all different aspects of your life. I find myself just not being as on point, not as tight, just sort of, yeah, man, the only way to explain it is just sloppy and weak. Those are the ways I would best describe it. So, I think this is kind of a normal thing, and it happens to a lot of people, but at a certain point you have to be like, all right, gotta tighten up, and if you're like anything like me, or you're the type of person who has a track record of being on point and has a track record of really like living a particular way, it's gonna just continuously eat at you until you get back on track. So for me, it's just a matter of like sort of going against the resistance of wanting to just kind of be lethargic, kind of be lazy, kind of enjoy the pleasures of just quote unquote chilling all the time. You know what I mean? Those kind of things. And going against that resistance and then building that momentum back, because once you start and get back on track, it becomes easier. We all know this. It's always the hardest thing to go work out, but once you get the workout in, you feel like, oh yeah, this is it. You know what I mean? So I won't harp on that too much, and I won't ramble about it too much, but that's generally what I'm saying. That was a big topic on my mind this week because it's something that I suffer with, and the last few months of my life, of this year, have been kind of that way. Like, I was really killing it, like, all year long, but it seems like I have this reoccurring theme where, like, towards the end of the year, I start to sort of fall off a little bit. I don't want to say fall off, but I'm not on point like I should be, or at least like I feel I should be. So I start cutting myself a little too much slack for my own liking and things like that. But it seems to always happen towards the end of the year. I don't know if it's the weather change or whatever it is, but it seems to happen. So yeah, that's something that's been on my mind, trying to get myself back on track, which, it's inevitable. I'm going to eventually get right back to where I was, because I'll go crazy if I don't. So it is what it is. I know I spoke about happiness this week too, like, sort of the concept of what happiness truly is, and that's, I guess, a very subjective thing. And to me, I'm almost at a point in my life where I even wonder if it's a real thing. Like, I don't think happiness is a particular state that you get to. I think happiness is, like all feelings and all emotions, fleeting. It comes and it goes. I think we think that we can get to a certain point in life where things are just going to always be good. If we have X amount of money, if we have X amount of resources, if we have X amount of whatever, if we have a particular person in our life or whatever, that everything's just going to be good, and I'll finally have arrived at whatever place or destination that I think is going to make me happy. But I don't think that's truly the case. I think for the most part, happiness comes in waves. And happiness, I think, is directly related to contentment and being content in a particular place for a particular amount of time. But I guess wondering how we get there. And I guess it's, like I said, different for everyone and it's subjective. But I think that is the thing that we're all truly striving for, no matter the pursuit, like even the self-improvement shit, like the what's going on here to some degree, like the self-improvement, being a better person, being better for yourself. Ultimately, we want to be better because we want to finally feel accomplished. We want to finally feel happy. We want to feel like we've reached a particular potential in ourselves and in our lives, and that will make us happy. Being able to be better for other people will make us happy, So, the concept of happiness is sort of a complex thing, realistically, when you truly look at it and you sort of analyze what it is. But that's also something that has been on my mind a lot, because I'm asking myself often, like, I guess I'm just just kind of auditing my life and taking account of my life and what I'm doing and what I'm trying to achieve and where I want to go and what is ultimately going to make me happy. But then I have to ask myself, well, what is happiness? What is being happy really look like for me? And I know that I'm not always going to be happy, and then I'm going to have to fight for that happiness every single day of my life. You know what I mean? So these are, in my mind, some of the deep philosophical questions that I ponder on a daily basis. But in due time, it's all going to work out the way it should, as long as I continue. And here's my greatest motto: put one foot in front of the other foot every single day. That's just what it is. So anyway, quick little recap. There's a few more things I talked about. I should probably start writing this shit down because I just do these off top. But those were the two that really stuck out to me. So once again, people, I appreciate everybody watching. Peace.